right, looks like we're good to go here on Peg City Soundoff, and I am joined today by the Stowaway. How are you doing?
Pretty well, man. How about you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Very well. Thanks for joining us on Peg City Soundoff today. It's great to talk to you.
Oh, thanks so much for having me on the show. I'm super excited to get chatting.
Yeah, no problem at all. No problem. So I first had seen you. You kind of been a little bit newer on the scene, if I'm not mistaken. I've been seeing your name everywhere, though. The name Stowaway might be accurate for a few different reasons because you definitely seem to be popping up everywhere, which I really enjoy.
That's awesome.
Um, is that just this year that you started doing live music more, or?
I've been doing it quite a bit, probably since I want to say um, early 2019, but it's only really this year that I've started hammering away at it and really pushing and trying to get my name out there.
Nice, that's awesome. Well, definitely doing good right now. And now it's unfortunately escaping me. I totally apologize, but I did see you play at the Tap House not that long ago.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
who was it? Was it Until Defeat was playing, or I can't remember?
That sounds about right. I wish I could tell you off the top of my head. I play there now with so many different projects and
Yeah,
meet
I
so
get
many
it.
different bands that I can't keep track of them anymore.
It might have been an Until Defeat in Avenue 46. I'm not positive though.
Yeah, yeah, actually, that would be the one.
But anyway, I saw you there, and it was a great performance. I kind of got in there right when you were. I walked into the tap house. I should say right as you were kind of kicking things off. You were into a couple songs there, and I gotta say, first thing I noticed, very diverse with what you're doing. Whether you're doing an original song or whether you're kind of doing your own version of a cover, it definitely seems like you got a diverse genre that you can tap into.
Yeah, I grew up with a lot of like different sounds in my ears, so I never really settled on one specific genre or one specific sound I was going for. And I figured, it's kind of a cool idea to just smash them all into one set, give everybody a little bit of everything, and I get
Yeah.
to explore all the different styles I love. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. I gotta agree there. And you never know what's coming up next. Like I said, you're playing certain songs. Like sometimes you're playing a pop song, or I think I heard some Britney Spears and NSYNC in there, but a completely different version of it, like your own kind of spin on it, where you wouldn't really notice till you start hearing the lyrics and stuff like that, which song it might even be. So, yeah, it's really
yeah.
cool, definitely.
No, thanks so much. I really enjoy getting to reinterpret songs and deliver them to people in a way that's it's new, it's engaging. A lot of people have heard these songs 100 times, so to hear a guy come do it solo and acoustically and, with this kind of, I guess, unique spin, it's engaging for people, and that's what I'm going for, you know?
Yeah, I think you nailed it with that word, engaging, because I definitely saw a lot of people hearing the songs and moving on up to the stage, really close even to the stage, having a good time. So, no, it's definitely working out really good.
That's great.
So you said that you started or that you were playing in 2019, playing live music. When did you start going to local shows, like Winnipeg shows, or even just in Manitoba, or and what kind of bands maybe were you seeing?
In the beginning, I was not going to, a lot of local shows. I was a terrible ambassador of the community. Um, but once I kinda started getting, comfortable with some of the bands, like, I kinda got my first, like, not bigger show, but just venue show with, Avenue 46 and Also Ran, and once I
No.
kinda got to know those guys, I started feeling a little more comfortable, like, "Hey, I can just, be in these venues and just, like, enjoy a band and stuff." So, I live, like, 3, 4 blocks away from Bulldogs. So every
Okay,
once in a while, I'll pop in there just if I'm looking for something to do and listen to whoever's playing for the night, but
it's a
there's
great
not a
venue.
lot
Good
of
place to do that.
yeah, there's not a lot of people, like, I kinda just, like, go out of my way to go see. Obviously, all my friends' bands, but I try to just drop in
Yeah,
on random shows and just experience something on a whim, you know?
yeah. No, definitely. And you're a busy guy, it seems like too. Like I said, you've been playing a lot of shows this summer. So no, I get that definitely.
It's been a crazy year, man. I went from playing maybe 3, 4
Mhm.
times a year to now, I think I'm going on mid-50s, early 60s for gigs so far this year and still going. It's
Yeah.
wild.
That's awesome. Well, it definitely seems like you're enjoying it, and like I said, or like you said earlier, it's engaging for everybody else. So it's a win-win for sure.
Yeah.
It's working out. So what about the name Stowaway? How long have you had that, or how did that come about? If I don't know if there's a cool story behind it or not, but
Kinda, yeah. So, back in I wanna say ninth or 10th grade, um, I was kind of in, like, an acoustic pop trio, just playing for, like, the high school commons and stuff like that, and, we were trying to think of a band name, and, one of us cracked a joke, I can't remember who it was, about how if we ever became big and we went on tour, a bunch of broke high school students, we wouldn't be able to afford to, like, travel to all these places. So we're like, "Oh, we're gonna have to
yeah,
stow away in people's luggage." So, we're just like, "Oh, we'll just call ourselves the Stowaways," and it just kinda stuck, you know? So, um, that never really got taken seriously, it was more just like a high school group of people looking to jam, have some fun, explore
yeah,
musically a little bit, and, you know, once we kinda, like, separated as much as people just casually playing can, I asked if it was okay if I keep using the name, and, I was the Stowaways until I learned that there was another The Stowaways in Manitoba, and then I was the Stow Project, which was just my way of being different, but I justified it as like, maybe it's a little bit more than music, you know?" And then,
yeah,
recently, I don't know, I guess it kinda took on a whole new meaning. The real answer nowadays is, um, you know, my music that I write originally is very, mental health centered, I guess, based on, like, insecurity and anxieties, and, I never quite felt like I fit anywhere, I always felt like I was kinda just along for the ride on the ship and just going wherever it took me, so, um,
mhm.
that kinda how we landed on the Stowaway. I'm just kind of along for the ride.
Nice. Well, I definitely think it fits perfectly, obviously for multiple reasons. Then, so no, it suits you well, definitely. So you talked about some of your original music that you put that you've been working on. Sorry, you put out at least one song, "Good Enough," I believe is the title of
Yeah.
that song. Really good track. What would be some of your? I want to talk about your writing process, but before that, are there any bands you would say that influence you specifically in your writing process? I know sometimes people have favorite bands, or maybe even just a favorite genre, but that's not really the music they play or they write. I've kind of noticed that. Do you think there's any bands that specifically influence you, or even just a genre, or what it would be?
Um, I can't tell you for sure which artists exactly would have influenced. I can kinda remember in that period of time, I was listening to a lot of, between punk music and pop music, and,
Hmm.
around the time I was particularly focused on a couple artists, one's like kind of, like a gritty gothic country group called Poor Man's Poison. They're
Okay.
smaller, they're big, but, smaller, and, Sean James, who is I believe he's like a Christian kind of acoustic artist, and also, a lot of Ed Sheeran at the time, hence the looping stuff and sounds I was going for on the track, and then beyond that, just my usual punk rotation, Billy Talent and Green Day, Rancid, Blink, that kinda stuff.
Yeah. Awesome, that's good. I saw you have some cool sayings, or at least ways to put your music. I think it was not pop punk. It was pop for punks. I think is one of the ways I saw it. But there's a few of those. I guess you've had to kind of describe the genre that you play, or that you kind of that you put out there to people, and that's one way to
Yeah,
do
I've
it,
I've
right?
had a pretty hard time defining what my music is, It's pop music, but I yell real loud.
Yeah, and you know what? That honestly, based on how you just kind of described yourself, and how you the name Stowaway works for you, I mean that kind of fits in. It's just your own thing, right? And people obviously really like it. I mean the show I saw, they said everyone was very engaged. You had the whole bar
That's
going,
awesome,
so
yeah.
definitely working for you. We got a couple people in the chat here. Who did I see? John Mellon says the stream is awesome. Shout out to John. Got Samantha as well there. Hi Samantha, and Ruth Morris. Hello Ruth, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Let's talk more about Good Enough. That's a great track. Like I said, it's kind of the only thing other than the live show. It's really the only reference that I had to listen to you before the interview.
Yeah.
But it's a great track. You released it, or at least according to Spotify, it was released in February. And I definitely think it fits in with what you just said, kind of mental health and stuff like that. Do you want to talk about that song a little bit, or how long ago even did you write that? I've been sitting on that for a while.
Yes, so I talked about this, a couple weeks ago on a different show, and, this song is originally, I wrote this song, I wanna say, what would it be? It's either 2021 or 2022. Um,
Okay, a while back,
I kinda
or a few
sat
years ago.
down and I was having a hard time with, finalizing a song idea, you know, I was getting really in my own head about, like, perfectionism and all this other kind of stuff. So, you know, I jokingly said to myself, I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna write a song, and it's gonna be called Good Enough, and I'm just gonna, like I'm gonna write it, I'm gonna finish it, I'm gonna throw it up, and it's gonna be good enough." You know what I mean? It's the song, it's as a
Yeah.
throwaway comment, it's good enough. And, you know, there was just, I guess it was, like, a particular headspace I was in around that time, and, I had this little bit of realization that I was like, "You know, maybe it's not the songs, you know, maybe it's I'm not feeling so great about myself." So I sat down and I think genuinely the lyrics probably put themselves on paper in about 10 to 15 minutes. It had a message, it had something that I wasn't going for. And you know, in that original spirit of it's good enough, I basically did a one take recording of it. Sorry. And,
Mhm.
I uploaded it straight to Spotify just to be able to say I released something, I had original music out there, and, it did not sound great, you know, there was no production value to it, it was just very one-dimensional, so I pulled it down, I wanna say, later end of 2023, and it was only the
Okay.
beginning of this year where I really sat down and I went, "I'm gonna finally do this song," you know, I have my own recording equipment now, I have my own kinda
Yeah.
studio built around me, and I'm gonna do this song justice, and I'm gonna start writing my music and producing my music, and I'm gonna start putting myself out there, really pushing this solo project.
Awesome. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I really think it's a great track. I didn't hear the original, but the final work is definitely, it's a
I'm
great
so glad
song.
you enjoy it, thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. I'm looking forward to hearing more originals. Do you have more originals in mind that you're looking to release in the
Yeah,
future? Or I believe you do have a couple at least that you've played, but or that you do play.
I
Sorry.
have, I have live versions of a couple originals, that I play
Nice.
at my live shows,
Yeah.
but while they're majority recorded, I'd say they're about 90% of the way there. I feel like they're kinda just missing this last little piece, this last kind of finishing touch that I'm really looking for, you know, to be happy
Okay.
with them and put them out. So there's definitely more on the way that I'm kinda working on. And, you know, I'm hoping to have them up soon. I have one, cover
Yeah.
song recorded actually that I've just been looking into licensing so I can distribute my own kinda like reimagined version of a cover song. And so
Nice.
I'm
Okay.
looking to build my catalog. I'm not sure. I'm trying to have something else ready for this year, but I'm definitely looking for a full
Mhm.
push, early next year.
Nice. Awesome. Well, we'll have to have you back on once we have more details so we can go through on that definitely. So going back to Good Enough, I really like a lot of aspects of the song. I think my favorite part though is the chorus where there's kind of a pause at one point where it's saying "Tell me," I believe it's "Tell me I'm good enough," and then there's kind of a pause to be, or is it right after "to be"? Sorry, but you kind of leave that open, is what I'm getting at, for the person who's listening to the song to kind of interpret it their way, or how they're feeling, or what emotional things that they're going through. At least that's the way that I kind of took it. I really liked the way that you did the
No,
chorus there.
pretty nail on the head, and I'm pretty glad you caught that actually. As much as I write my songs, for myself and to tell these stories that, you know, I feel and I deal with, I want them to
Hmm.
be as I want them to be as relatable to people as it can be, you know? And I know sometimes, you're singing a song and the song resonates, but it just has this one line that maybe you don't, like, quite identify with, and so it doesn't
Yeah.
feel as much like, your song. And I don't want my songs to be mine. I want my songs to be your guys' songs that I just play for you, you know? So I want them to
Yeah.
mean something different to you than they mean to me.
Yeah, no, that's definitely, and that, I mean, I know I'm going to keep bringing this word up that you said earlier, but that makes it more engaging too, right? For everybody.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, it's a great song, like I said. You've had the chance, because you've been playing so much, to play some really cool venues. I'd like to go over some of those, but you've also kind of put it out there that you've been playing house parties, or you've been kind of doing stuff like that. How's that been going this year? That's I haven't been to a house party with a live band in quite some time, but it's always a good time. That's always a blast.
It's really cool. Like, I love doing the venue shows, and I love doing, the music festivals, whether that's my solo project or my band's. You know, you get that, like you get that rock star feeling playing for crowds and stuff, which is, like, super
Yeah.
it's like a childhood fantasy coming true, you grow up and there's people in front of
Sure.
you, and they're dancing and they're singing, and it's awesome, it's fantastic. But I've never ever lost enjoyment for playing these smaller events. Like, these house parties, even some of my more consistent gigs, like, DeLuca's playing in a literal grocery store, or busking,
Yeah.
or even just, like, private events. I've been hired for some private events just as background music. There's something so unique about all of them, and there's all these, like, different emotions they give me that I love those small, like, intimate settings where you really get to connect with people, where, maybe these people, or maybe you don't know them, but they know you. It's really meaningful, not just to play the big shows, but to have small groups of people be like, "I want you."
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And it's always a good environment too, right? Like you're kind of right in there with them. It's a really intimate environment to play music. So yeah, it's really cool.
No, man, I love it, honestly. It's any chance I can get to get out there and play and perform, it's just I love to play.
Yeah. So if anyone's having a house party and they need somebody to to play,
I'm
here's your
I'm
man
ready.
right here. Awesome. I want to circle back really quick. I forgot to ask one question I wanted to ask about your songwriting process. So I heard you talking a little bit about writing good enough, and kind of the headspace that you needed to be in to write that kind of, I don't know if negative is the right word, but kind of like an emotional or really self-reflective
Yeah.
maybe headspace. And that when you weren't in that headspace and you were trying to write the same, like write for the music, or the song I should say, that it wasn't really working for you. I guess my question is that something just for that one song, or is that kind of your songwriting in general, where you have to have a one specific headspace, or was that specifically to that song?
Um, I think, my favorite works that I write all come from very emotional places, and they all come from very, like, complex feelings I have, and, the more genuine and the more honest I get with those thoughts, I feel the more I enjoy the songs, because, yeah, I know it's me writing them, but, I can feel myself connecting to this other version, this more transparent version of me, and,
Yeah.
it kinda requires being in a place that's, like, ready to be understanding of myself, ready to be understanding of the situation I was in when I wrote those feelings down, because if I'm not in the most particularly positive headspace, it's hard to rehash these more emotional ideas, and,
Yeah.
I was talking about this again on a different show, and I had somebody reach out and message saying, the more you play them, the more you learn to accept them. Not, like, tolerate them, but truly accept them, and the message, and the learning you got from that experience that you're sharing. So I'm
Yeah.
practicing that a lot more in these last couple weeks now, and just being receptive of what my stories, I guess, have to teach me. I think that's the best way I can put
Okay,
it.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. No, that's and you're gonna get, like you said, if the more that you're gonna get great work out of that, the more that you can make that work for you. So
Yeah.
definitely. So going back now to venues, one venue I definitely wanted to talk about was Bell's Kitchen. I believe you played there a couple of
Yeah.
times. What do you think of Bell's Kitchen? I honestly really love that venue. It's a great vibe down there, great staff. I love the fact that there's music playing at all times. There was one Monday where I had Monday off and just went down there. I think around noon or 1 p.m. already had someone playing music. So that's my kind of place. I was wondering
Yeah.
what you thought about that venue for it being a newer venue.
I absolutely adore Bells. Both as, like, an idea and just as the actual people who run and operate that place. I
Yeah,
think that's something that we so very much needed in the city, was something where it was just consistently music all day, every day. If you want live music, you know where to go. It's there, and you
yeah,
can enjoy it, and
absolutely.
you get such a wide variety. And as much as it is like a country and kinda like soft rock and roll type aesthetic, people aren't afraid to come in with these different genres. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's kinda like rolling the dice. You go in, you never quite know exactly what you're gonna get, but it's always something awesome. And the staff there are like the most friendly, accommodating, helpful, and supportive people. I can
Yeah,
recall a couple times I've been there in like the early mornings where, you know, customers aren't quite ready for barbecue at, 11 o'clock in the morning.
for
But,
sure. There's not a lot of light food on the menu, definitely.
exactly.
Not a lot of light food on the
But
menu.
but, after every song, the staff are, like, clapping along, and they're bopping their heads, and they're singing and asking you if you need anything. And, the
Mhm.
whole place, top to bottom, the idea it stands for, how it's run, everything, just absolutely top tier. I love them.
Yeah, for sure. I really hope that things keep working out for them. I think they have a really good location too, because a lot of people from Transcona. I grew up in Transcona, and a lot of people from Transcona really like live entertainment. Doesn't matter what time of day. And another thing I've found is people from Transcona, just of all ages, love covers. They love cover bands. They love going down to the George or the Spike and seeing cover bands. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's I think they got a good
No,
location
yeah,
there.
I think I really hope they're doing well, and if they are, I think they're gonna continue to do really well. And I'm excited to keep
Yeah, I hope
I'm
so
excited to
too.
keep working with them.
I was Yeah, definitely. I gotta come down there and see you sometime when you're playing there. That's the one thing I was thinking about the place is the couple of times I've been there, it's been very early in the day. It was kind of like a spontaneous thing, so it's not like it's going to be super busy. I'm sure they expect that, but I'm just hoping, yeah, that they are getting busier and getting more business in the peak hours. Because yeah, it's a wicked venue, great vibes. You got the piano right beside the stage that it's only been there for I think less than a year, that venue, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but it's already got signatures of so many different people, whether it's original or cover bands or anything. So yeah,
No, yeah.
they're doing great stuff down there. If you haven't been down there, go check out Bell's Kitchen sometime.
Next Saturday at 2:15, I think. Yep. Uh,
There
I'll
you
post
go.
it, but I'm there next Saturday. I know that much.
Awesome. Yeah, I would say get down there if you can. Usually the artists that are playing there too are playing for a couple of hours, so don't have to get there right at the start of the show either way. You can get down there, have some good food. They got some great beer down there too, great drinks. So that's awesome. One thing I did want to bring up to you and congratulate you on was I believe you recently reached 400 followers. I think it's on your Facebook page, I'm assuming, but
Instagram,
I
yeah.
saw it. Oh, it's Instagram.
That's
I'm
okay, that's
sorry.
okay.
Okay. Instagram. But congratulations. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
In a world of millions and billions, 400 seems like such a small number to so many people, but that's 400 people who looked at me and went, I like what you got to say. And I
Yeah,
carry that. I carry that, and it feels monumental. No matter how small that number might look to others, it's
for
tremendous
sure.
to me.
Yeah, definitely. Especially for someone like yourself. Like you're getting those followers for the most part, literally just playing shows, going and playing different venues, or maybe it is house parties, whatever it is, and then kind of seeing the next day if followers are growing
Yeah.
or increasing, I should say, anything like that. So no, it's awesome.
No, it's really cool, man. I'm super grateful. I don't even know what else to say, you know, it's just I'm just so grateful.
No, I definitely think that covers it for sure. And in the comments there, I saw Michelle. Hi, Michelle. She says hi to myself here, and Ruth Morris as well says let's collab sometime. I think that one might be for you. Ruth Morris is one of the members of our Peg City Soundoff team here. She does a lot of the marketing and stuff like
Okay.
that. But she definitely can get you booked on some shows or with some really good bands too.
I am always
Something.
incredibly interested. I would love to get in contact.
There you go. So Ruth, send him a message. Good to go. Awesome. So we mentioned 400 followers. Another new thing, and I'm just bringing this up because I'm a pet lover myself. But you got a new cat recently? Did I see?
I did, yeah, that is number 4.
Number
I have become a
4.
crazy cat lady, and I love it.
Okay, well, tell me more. Tell me more. We got some names, or how long have you had
Yeah,
them?
so, the original cat I got some years ago when, there was a post from, Skye, who's the promoter at Bulldogs.
Yeah,
She had found a stray kitten that didn't have a home and needed somebody to adopt, so looking for a cat, I basically beelined it down there, brought a cat home, and, you know, named her Nina, and 2 to
nice.
3 weeks later, we learned she was pregnant and she had baby cats,
Oh,
who we
okay.
originally weren't gonna keep. We were kinda just happy with the 1 cat, but, you know, they were adorable. So, we named them Ezra and Maddie, and we kept the 2 of them. And then, recently we came into another cat who just needed a home, you know, and originally we were gonna do more of a foster situation, but she got along so well with the other cats, and she was getting along so well with me, it just felt impossible to say goodbye to her, so we named her Callie, and she's
Yeah,
permanently joined the family, and,
that's
I
awesome.
we also have a dog, Nova, who is also a rescue. We literally rescued her out of the streets, and, I
That's what,
have learned that any animal that enters my house never leaves my house, so I should stop bringing
yeah,
animals home.
there's no such thing as fostering over there.
I will foster fail again and again. I love animals.
Awesome. Well, I had to ask you about that, so that's good to hear. That's wicked. I'm happy you have another addition to
I
the
love
family
talking
there.
about them. I love it.
Wicked. Well, talking about your music a little bit more again. So when I saw you, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you it was solo. Are you only doing a solo project right now, or are you playing in a band as well, or kind of doing both? Or?
Yeah, so I play with a couple bands, and, I also do
Okay.
session work. So, the majority of my gigs and performances are the solo project because it's the most mobile and it's the most, um, like, small space or, like, low level volume friendly because I can being an acoustic guitar, I can play any volume I want.
For
But,
sure.
the first band edition was, my Billy Talent cover tribute band, the Red Flags. We've
Oh yeah,
we've
great
since
band.
kinda branched out from just the Billy Talent tribute, and now we kinda do, like, modern rock covers, and then, through that, I started doing, just a little bit of session work, you know, random fill-ins. I've played, with the Phoenix Travers Band, I've played with Zach Riley's band, um, and
Nice.
then I just recently joined full-time, Sleepless. So,
Oh, I didn't
yeah,
know that.
that's a
No
more
way.
recent thing. We kinda didn't, like, call it out.
Is that breaking news?
We kinda didn't, like, call it out. It was just, like, this casual thing where we were like, "Yeah, you know, we've played a couple, shows together." Like, they called me for some session work. They just needed a fill-in player, and it meshed
Yeah.
really well. So, you know, I jumped on board, and now we're moving forward.
Well, that is wicked to hear. Sleepless is one of my favorite local bands, so
They're
that's awesome.
fantastic. I'm actually,
They
like,
are.
starstruck that they let me join. I I love their music. I love them as people. Like, they're so much fun to play with, the energy, everything. I'm, like, just so pumped to be with them. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and I could get definitely why you might say that for yourself, definitely that you're starstruck, but I think you're gonna fit in, or maybe you already have, but fit in perfectly there, especially the kind of music that you play. It that fits in perfect, I
Yeah,
think.
you know, it's been pretty seamless, genuinely. Like, I really enjoy jamming with them and playing shows with them, and, you know, kind of excited to see how it goes.
That's wicked. So you'll be playing guitar for them,
Bass,
or?
sorry, yeah, so I
So
pretty
sure.
much
I
my
wasn't
solo
sure.
project is guitar and everything else is bass.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And in the chat here, Samantha says, "Blame that on your mom." I think that might be about the cats
That
and
is
the
that is
foster
my
bail.
mother. That is my mother.
Yeah. So that's not a bad trait to pass down, though. So that's
Yeah.
fine. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. Like I said, we definitely got to do this again when you have some new music coming out. When was the? You said it was next Saturday. Is your next time you're at Bell's?
Yeah, so next Saturday, if you give me, like, 3 seconds, I can actually pull it up. Pretty sure it's
For sure.
2:15, but, um oh, I
That
lied.
sounds like
It's
they're.
11:45
Oh.
until 2.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that'll be Saturday, September 27th, and then, I'm also just about to announce tonight, a show I'm doing at the Osborne Tap House. I shared it on my story, but that is, October
At the
9th.
ninth.
That's the one.
Yes, I think the Tap House might have announced that one because I saw that one. So that is one that our regular host Joel, he might be down at that one because I know for a fact, because I only know this name because of him, that Mr. Loopy Pants he's a big fan of, and that I think you two going on in the same set or the same lineup, I should say, is gonna be
I'm
perfect.
really excited, you know, as far as I knew, I was kind of the
Yeah,
only person doing the whole looper shtick, so getting to, like, meet another one, never mind just, like, listen to one is gonna be really cool. I'm really excited to,
yeah,
like, kinda just, get some ideas off of each other and chat and meet, you
for
know?
sure. Yeah, absolutely. So that is October 9th at the Osborne Tap House. I think the other band is called God and the Bear, if I'm not mistaken. There'll be three
Correct, yeah.
bands. So that is going to be a great show if you can get down there. Like I said, Loopy Pants and Stowaway alone, I think, would be worth worth the price of admission to get down there. It's always a great venue too. So
Oh, thank you so much for all your kind words, man. I really appreciate that.
yeah, no problem. Like I said, thanks again for taking the time to talk to me, and hopefully I'll see you soon. If I don't see you at Bell's, because I'm not sure if I can next weekend, I might be busy, but definitely the October 9th show. I'm gonna try and make it down to because Joel keeps telling me I got to see Mr. Loopy Pants as well, and I'm telling him he's got to see Stowaway, so we can get those done at
Best
the
of both
same time.
worlds. No, thank you so very much for having me on here, you know? It's really awesome getting to explore these new avenues of music, chatting with people and meeting people, and I'm really thankful, so thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. And like I said, I think I have a feeling that I'll see you at another venue soon. So
Absolutely.
thanks again for taking the time. You have a great night. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate it.
Right. Have a
Have a good one.
fantastic night, everybody.